What's up, party people?
Are we live?
It's great.
I have
no idea.
Internet.
I came in on What's Up, Party
at this
People.
point, and I don't care.
What's up, party people? Welcome to tonight's episode of A Sinner's Dream, a Noir campaign that I run for a bunch of chuckle fucks that show up here on a weekly basis just to fuck with
now.
me.
Just to cut his goddamn code.
Excuse me. Tonight's episode is
There's no
Fucking
excuse
attractive.
for you.
Fucking attractive.
I can't tonight, man. All right.
Tonight I'll be your dungeon
Absolute
master.
fucking tragedy.
Please.
Tonight's episode is brought to you by Foundry, the best VTT out there. You can go find it at foundryvtt.com. One-time purchase. Get your buddies to pitch in on it, and you have it for the rest of your life. As long as you have access to your code, right? Because if you get your code, you can plug it in to your software, and you can use it. Now then, it is open source. It is, like anybody can connect to it from your computer. But if you don't want to have to deal with firewalls and, blah, 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 self-hosting nonsense, you can go to Forge-VTT and use their hosting software, which is what we use here because we have international games. Yesterday we did a game that was a little bit more private, might be released later, we'll see, that had people in the UK, Canada, and the US, across the US. It did. It did
UK,
happen.
that's a fake country.
That's fair. But there are over 200 nodes across the world, so if you want to connect to your buddies in your fake countries, you can, with ease, and it just flawless. Your fake buddies across fake oceans that don't exist because the world is flat. Do what you want to do. Okay?
I'm out. And good night, everybody.
Colonists cannot tolerate this nonsense.
I'm joking. I don't actually.
I
Listen,
mean, you
it's
find
hard to take
dinosaur
anything.
bones. The world is 7,000 years old, Trevor.
I'm
Okay.
Mac to start shooting.
I thought it was only 600.
Trevor,
or
you
6,000.
can't take anything literally that any of these idiots say when they're all from make-believe states.
I know.
We both know that it goes New York and then you're in California. There's nothing in between
That's it.
except
Nothing in
for
between.
wasteland.
And Justin's muted, is explaining everything about life.
There actually is something in between. It's corn. Just
That's it. That's all it is.
if you look at an agricultural map of the world, it's just a piece of Crispix cereal. Corn on one side, rice on the other.
And the banned corn.
Well,
Yes.
regardless,
Well, no, they're in California because Bakersfield. So
tonight's episode is also brought to you by Tabletop Audio.
woohoo!
You can go to their website, have all the audio you really need. There's 300 tracks, I think, available to you for free. Just go to their website, check them out. If you want more, because, you're greedy like I am, you can just go to their Patreon and get literally something in the realm of 1,000 or more tracks on top of that 300, I think. And it's all fantastic stuff that you can go and grab. Tonight's episode is also brought to you by Michael Gelfi. Great ambiance that you can go find on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you want to. Midnight Syndicate, some of the more orchestraic stuff, because I don't care. That's a bit more dark that I use from time to time because this is a noir-themed campaign. So sometimes things get a little dark and gritty.
When?
I don't know. Talk about FX, Jason. Here
Don't
anymore.
tempt him. Stop tempting him.
Elf eggs. They're the channel points you're going to earn down the bottom of your screen for sitting there. Maybe having us on mute. Maybe tucking us in the farthest corner of your desktop.
Reasonable.
Still, those delicious little elf eggs are going to accumulate over time. You can then spend them for actual real-world prizes. Not cash, just prizes. Or a chance to win a set of Dice Envy dice. This month's dice are the Plane Shift dice from Dice Envy.
Those are so
Green and
cool.
purple, very cool, very Halloween-y, very spooky.
Yep.
Do it.
Very, very cool.
Do
JD didn't let me get to pick them this week like he said he would, but it's okay.
What?
They're still really
We
cool.
can get him next time.
Yep.
Did I say I would do that?
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Fine, go pick another.
No, I like them. Those are definitely the ones I would have picked. Good job.
Back to you, Chuck.
I don't think that's wise. Let's go to the radio recap.
What radio recap?
All right, fine. Let's just keep going.
Contains fatty acids and free alkali.
While the flavor lasts, what are you chewing? Beach nut gum? We could be in for a long voyage.
Well, what's the matter there, Timmy? Oh, well, geez, mister. My parents say I'm gonna have to get a real job and drop out of school. Well, Timmy, that's because your parents haven't tried their luck at the Jealous Devil Casino and Resort. Well, mister, isn't gambling risky? Well, life's a risk, you little numbskull. But the odds are always in your favor when you play the many fine games available at the luxurious Jealous Devil Casino and Resort. Try your luck in our state-of-the-art slot machines. Just one pull and you and your parents speak on the fast road to Easy Street. Prefer to show off that ice-cold poker face? Well, the best card tables your hard-earned gold notes can buy. Just waiting for you to straight flush your way to Tinseltown. So quit your moping, kid. Grab your parents and tell them to get their keisters up to the Jealous Devil Casino and Resort. Fortune and glory await.
Welcome back, party people.
That's so good.
That was pretty good. Adelaide.
Yeah, we had a lot happen, but also not. So we play Barbie.
Congratulations, you just recapped season 1 of ASD.
So we started our session last week with Barbie Dreamhouse, where we are all just kind of mixing and matching little rooms. Wilhelm has an 8-hour debate over what garden he wants to grow. And meanwhile,
Wilhelm, how does a garden grow?
I think Wilhelm was pretty clear about what kind of garden he wanted. Chuck just wouldn't allow it.
It's true. It's very true. While Mac and Veda are, for then at least, still shacking up, he notices that he has something white on his neck and asks Veda about it. It's a spidery web that's like in his veins.
He got a little excited.
Yeah, we have a little talk about my family dynamics that Mac totally brushed over and didn't catch on to. And meanwhile, at the other house, Wilhelm is grabbing journals about cults, infernal entities. We all meet up, kind of look over Mac's semen neck. And it seems like it might be a gift from the dragon.
It's frozen very much, thank you.
It's
Frozen semen.
Frozen semen neck, okay.
No.
And we'll see what it can do when we get into a fight. We discuss our plans of
I think it's called
how to...
squalene. Is that what you call it?
No.
What is this week?
I don't know.
We discuss our casino plans, and we decide to fuck the casino. We're actually just gonna have our own casino on a boat and invite people. And we invited everybody. It's gonna be really fun.
You haven't invited very many people yet. You said you
That's
were going to.
But all of the people that we care about have been invited, which is interesting because we're about to fight a dragon on the boat. Anyway, Pip has a crisis. We make some calls from the house that are all collect. And then we go... I literally have on here bullet point calls, comma, all collect. Yeah, we only make collect calls at Harold's house.
Well, I can afford it. It's fine, Then
we Veda and Wilhelm make a sexy motorcycle ride to the gun show, which is McCandless's place. And while we're asking him about the bullets, he gets kind of weird about it and invites us into his shop. And as we enter the shop, the doors close on us. And Mac's freaking out, about to kill this motherfucker. But I think it's gonna be okay.
No, Mac's freaking out, getting ready to kill all of you.
Why would he kill all of us?
Because this is Mac's contact, and yeah, someone's gonna die.
Over McCandless? But we didn't even do anything in McCandless. We like McCandless.
You don't know that yet.
That's fair.
No, I called him out for being a literal dealer of death.
That's true. That's fair.
He didn't like it either.
No.
He didn't like the truth.
He prefers the term contract worker.
That's true.
So, that's where we open tonight. As the arcane scrolling goes across the door, The lock clicks on the other side, and there's a soft hiss as the door opens to his shop. The doorway itself is filled with mist that you cannot see through, and he just goes, "Come on, we'll see what we can do." And he just steps through the mist.
After y'all, ladies first.
Yeah, I'll follow him. Yeah.
And Wilhelm's right behind.
Harold's gonna burn his once a day detect magic before he, as McCandless walks in, and like as his back is turned, I'll do my detect magic. My once a day, not a ritual thing. Ritual, not a ritual that doesn't burn a spell slot. And I'll walk in behind him.
I'll follow.
I'll take up the rear.
Yep, Pip's in there somewhere. It's fine.
Since I'm taller than everybody else, it's easy for me to look over.
Before you even get through the door, Harold, your vision just goes completely green through the door. The mist actually picking up a bit of a green tint as you pick up abjuration magic stepping in through the doors. The other side is well lit and much larger than anticipated for a small garage workshop. This foundry is full of clean metal tables. There are reloaders on one wall that you can see a multitude of different calibers, Mac, as you very briefly scan the walls. There's an entire portion off to the right that's got a rather large anvil and forge setup where you can see all sorts of different tools for bending the metal over, welding it over the top. You can see metal cutters that go down through and make those individual riflings on rifles. There's another portion of the shop that is set up behind a wall that you can't quite see, but even as you kind of go around one of the tables in this large space, you can see that there is a woodworking shop that is cut off from the rest of the shop. And you can hear a loud humming noise as there is some semblance of a hood system on the interior running currently. As you can see a piece of wood currently spinning rather quickly on machinery in the back. As this older gentleman steps down the steps and leads you all to one of the cleaner tables, clear of everything, he picks up a few books and starts kind of enclosing them together. Says, "You can just put the burgers here on the table, don't mind." And he starts pulling plates out from underneath and setting them out. Now then.
I'll do it. Well, arranging, unwrapping the little plastic utensils and putting them,
Oh, there's no need. Give me just one moment. And he waves a hand, and you can see this small robot come out from underneath. This small automaton come out, crawling from underneath the table with a tray that is magnetized with silverware on it. Come across the top of the table.
What is my purpose?
Did you make this?
Yes.
Death.
You should get one for your house, Harold. This is delightful.
Now that I know that we won't be looked in on. And he kind of looks up, and you can see that mist barreling from the door up into the ceiling. As you can see, a set of stairs off to the left, going up into another portion of the building that you can't see past the mist of. He just says, "I do not get into what those who contract me for work do for work with my tools, with my products. If you have a problem with them, it's with them. I'm simply..." He kind of looks around the shop. "An artisan."
Like I said, I don't think any of us, glancing at Wilhelm, forcefully, are angry at you.
He's just like a set of glowing orange eyes in the mist.
None of us
And
are
it's not the
angry at
vampire.
him. Things are happening very quickly with some things on our end, and I at least am quite afraid to come face to face with these. I've been drinking it. Yes, trying to build tolerance, but it's still going.
To be clear, that's all you're here for is for this? Or was there something else you were looking for while you were here? You said you were mentioning work needing to be done, if I remember correctly, on the rune, Mac?
Well, Mac's in the back, very, very carefully watching everyone else. And McCandless, because McCandless currently has my rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been contracted, as you are contracted to do things, to actually face off against a prior client of yours. And I personally need something quite a bit bigger with a little bit more oomph to, dispatch a scaly hide, if you get my drift. And I'm willing to pay for...
Do understand, Mac. Mm-hmm. I know that typically we have this back and forth, but it's unnecessary here in the shop.
All right, so we've been contracted to kill down the Ember, that big red dragon fella, and I need something bigger than Sarah Jane to do that. And I'm willing to pay you a whole bunch of money to make it quick and make it quiet. And everyone else here, they're also concerned, and I tried to tell them about your contract, and at this point it seems like between that dragon and like that demon guy and these pellet vampire things and all that. And look, I've known you for a long time. I just don't want things to get messy in here, with everybody thinking that they may let's just say you don't always blame the maker of the sword, just the people that use them.
That's wise. And he takes the bag of burgers and kind of pulls one of them out and begins unwrapping it.
And Mac is just staring at everyone else in the room.
And he sets your gun on another table, like unceremoniously, just kind of sets it off to the side.
I'm just here for some shopping.
Well, Pip, he also does ammunition, and your little blowgun can probably do something a little more than darts or special darts or something like that.
Oh yeah, well I have a list of components I need too, so.
All right.
Yeah.
And Veda, if he made the ammunition that's making, vampires and all that sick, maybe there's something to work against it. Wilhelm, maybe your knuckle things can be a little bit bagger. Look, we got a lot of money and we're facing somebody really fucking bad. That's why I brought everybody here.
I think what he's trying to say
bad is relative in this city.
Whatever they're paying you, we can try and top it.
Follow me. He takes the burger and starts eating it, walking along, and he leads you past the wood shop. There's another smaller shop in the back that, another smaller portion of the shop that is completely closed off. He puts his hand on it and kind of swipes his fingers across as it begins to do the scroll work across it. And he just goes,
so uncomfortable.
How attached to most of your items are you?
I don't have any items.
So you talking to everybody?
Equipment. Yes. Talking to everyone here.
Like,
You need to leave it behind.
Look, if you're going after Keelong, the Fulgent Timber, you're not going to be able to just walk in with a rifle, Mac.
no, I'm thinking about something much bigger, like set up on the top that I, kind of press a few times and big explosions and
Are you
holes are
telling me
made.
that you mean to tell me that you are offended by my craftsmanship on the rifle I already made?
No, I'm not. I'm thinking just a much bigger fucking rifle.
There's no need. There's no
Okay.
need for a much bigger fucking rifle.
I don't know what else to do.
Imbecile. And he opens up the door as the scrolling finally hits the corners.
Oh yeah, Mac. Of course, is like, oh, y'all better fucking behave. And then the second he gets a little bit insulted, whack, boom.
Right. Like, he's like, everybody's like, yeah, we're cool, dude. Like, that's fine. We just want to talk. And Mac's like, I will kill all of you. Fuck off.
Opening up the door.
Wilhelm is just noticeably just like biting his lip.
Mhm.
So I'm just Beta asked me to behave.
This room is about the same size as the initial foundry, and it is glittering on the interior with the amount of gems that are sitting around and various different socketed objects. These gems vary from the size of like a dime to the size of a palm. Some of them you can see little machines kind of going around the edges of them, currently working on a variety of different runes that are beginning to be engraved on the interior. He says, now I don't know how much you all know about rune crafting, but I am quite adept. It's only something I do for specialty, for people who get a little out of line in certain instances. I need you, if he is taking children and using my equipment to do so. And he looks at you, Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes over to a couple of different small gems and kind of picks them up. He says, now for instance this, give me about 5 minutes, enjoy your burgers for a second, look around, don't touch anything. And he picks up one of the smaller gems and goes over to a rifle that looks similar to Mac's, but the pigeon work on it is like a lot. It is entirely different. Instead of having this nice clean look that you're used to, Mac, there is a scrolling of like what looks like a wave crashing over the top of a beach. He takes it for a moment and he goes to the butt of the rifle and proceeds to set it into a set of clamps that automatically and like clamp around the rifle, holding it in place. And he pulls out a set of tools and begins like drilling out a small hole at the tip. And pulls out a set of tweezers and gently sets that in there before quietly just like looking at it for a few moments. He picks up one of these, another tool that proceeds to throw like the tiniest of lasers down into it as it begins to set this stone into socket. Is there anything you guys would like to do in this 5 minutes that he's taking?
How blinded is Harold with his detect magic up?
It's really bad, especially in this room. It's worse in this room than it was in the last room. Every single gem glitters a little bit more.
Contrast
Most
to
of them.
Max.
After a moment, he pulls that rifle out and he just tosses it over his shoulder, like just full on, and it disappears. For instance.
The hell?
And then he pulls his hand down and it cocks as the rifle reappears in his hand. Useful thing. And he throws it over his shoulder again, and he goes, "Not many people know about this one either." And he kind of like pulls at his overalls for a second, and as he does, little metal plates begin to across his chest before he's in full on like classical plate armor. this seem useful to you all for this? Stuff like this?
Man, I came here for like scroll work and shit, and you've been hiding all this for what, 20 years? Damn.
Not a lot of people know about my rune crafting. It's more of a passion project than it is actual work, as most people don't need such things.
God, I just wanted the action filed down a little bit on one of the revolvers. All right, well,
Mac.
yeah.
Mac, is this the gentleman who we believe to have crafted the rifles with the glyphs of warding and all that?
I would assume so. Yeah, McCandless, you know anything? I mean, you're the only one I know that would even do that. They're rifles that kind of cast spells at a distance. Wilhelm and I were blown up by one that, like, it put some kind of thing on a lighter that he was using, and then when it was opened, it blew up. Like what Harold said, a glyph.
The spell, since I'm sure you're familiar, is called Glyph of Warding, and it essentially what
Gentlemen,
happened.
I'm not. Perhaps you've forgotten that was a different associate of ours.
Oh,
different association. Yes,
I certainly had forgotten. Perhaps it's something he could make.
I'd like to meet this crafter, if that's the case, because that's advanced, to say the least.
That could be done.
With us.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's the wizard guy, right? We killed that dude.
No, above table it was the.
It's the lilies. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Which means we can't tell him who. Who
you
that is.
can. Matt, go ahead.
Sort of.
You're the one that always makes the save, dude.
I believe they're a little bit hard to get in contact with, but we can certainly attempt to do that for you, yes.
I would appreciate it.
It would be a life-altering meeting, I can assure you.
Can you do that rune? Can you do that rune thingy with any item, even if it's already enchanted or magical?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So,
okay.
Unless it's already pre-slotted for something like this, no. And even then, usually it's certain configurations to match up the various different enchantments.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right.
What can these gem rune things do?
A variety of things. For instance, I've got this one, and he pulls up one that's about the size of like a $50. And he says, for instance, this one, if you are knocked unconscious or killed, be hopeful that none of your friends are nearby, as you will explode, but then you will rise from the ashes, called the Phoenix.
Yes.
Another one.
I do that already.
Very interesting. Then perhaps, this one's a little bit easier to do, and he picks up a small emerald that's like perfectly princess cut, and he just kind of like rotates, and as it does, you can see like a small feather kind of rotate on the interior, like it's been laser etched on the inside. Says this one, for instance, would makes you a little bit lighter on your feet. You can jump a further distance. You can sometimes, not have to worry about running before jumping. It's just an easier situation. I call it the Featherfoot.
I can do that already, actually.
Well, then apparently you have no need for me. Please get the fuck
No,
out.
please. All these things are very
I'm
interesting.
joking.
I actually would be very interested in this Phoenix.
I'm joking. It's fine. The Phoenix is incredibly intricate and will take a lot of work, depending on what you want to put it in. There's another one that I've got that I call the Bastion. Essentially, you'll put it into a glove of some sort, and you punch the ground, and a shield appears around you for a period of time.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at either like Pip or a Mac for that. Yeah.
No, I would like immediately look at Harold for that.
Yeah.
Do you know if Keelong is a caster or not?
He is
Kill
not.
him?
Well, we've been
Based,
told
based on
from a
CF
source that he has multiple. He has the ability to turn smoke into fire.
And he's a big fucking dragon.
Yeah, I don't know that it is outside of his purview. It is just not his expertise.
Is there a gem that causes really big holes and big scaly things?
I do have Dragonbane. Those are specifically for bullets.
Okay.
And I can only make. I've only got a handful of them prepared, and it takes a long time to get them prepped. Those bullets that you were talking about, those little crystalline bullets that take care of, well, knock vampires out. They tend to, or undead, I should say. It's more than just vampires. Those take about a week minimum to make a single one.
Oh shit! Yeah, we got.
I
have to synthesize the material on
2 weeks time.
Yeah, we have like maybe 2 weeks. Yeah. Ooh.
Now,
is that
this much?
Is that a continuous work, or is that like an hour a day, or?
No, that's me having to have my machines do the synthesization of the material that goes inside of the crystalline structure that I also have to synthesize to go in the tip of a cartridge.
Shoot.
What about containment?
What kind of containment are you looking for?
Say,
I've heard of something called a soul gun.
a jargon. She is.
Jar guns. Those old, outdated things.
Yes, I'm not as concerned with that, but something we could use to contain him if we opt to not slay him.
I don't know that I could do that. However, are any of you mages in this particular group? You said you blow up. Oh, hey, there's a couple of you. Nice.
Yeah.
Do any of you use guns?
I'm capable of doing so, but it's not my preference.
I've never shot a gun.
Really easy, and I could teach you. I could take you out to the target range here inside if you'd like one of these days.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I can make a gem of that. Depending on who you're shooting, could potentially recover some of your essence that you need for casting. Granted.
Am I to understand that DM as a spell slot recovering gun?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's interesting.
Can only be used once a day. So it's a one-time thing.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need, right?
It converts a portion of their soul into the energy that you'll be using. So called the soul trap. That's about the best. That's the closest thing to containment that I think I can do. And he waves a hand, and as he does, you can see another small crab-like automaton come over, holding up a book over its head, just kind of scuttle out of a hole off to the side. And he takes it, says, "Thank you." Kind of starts flipping through it for a second as Chuck goes through and reads a few things. Yes, no, I've got nothing that I can do that would be containment related. Most of it is hurt them to make you feel better kind of things, or protection of yourself, or protection of your friends, enhance your abilities.
Protection is definitely a priority.
Some of these will take quite a bit of time. I am of the mindset that the faster that they die, the more protected you are. So
Exactly.
there's one that I've got that you may or may not like, that I call the Hunt Runestone. Essentially, whenever you hit someone with it, with a bullet from this fired weapon, you can teleport to be within a certain distance of them. So if you need to chase someone who's flying, you might be able to shoot them and then be on them if necessary, or simply around them if there's something that you can land on nearby, like a building. You said you're going to be on a boat, so I don't know how useful that would be. I changed my mind. Well, on the other hand, I could give you a few mariner stones. Those might be useful for your clothes. We can set it into your clothes, and you won't have to worry about your weapons and armor dealing with any sort of detriment underwater. Might be useful for you, Mac. I'm not entirely sure how you all want to have it. What do you want? I've got a myriad of things that I can do, but they are still a limited myriad.
I just pull out the revolvers and set them on the table, and like for me, bigger holes in bigger things.
Yep.
Just you know me. I don't do this magic shit. I would like to press a trigger and have something very big, have a very big hole put into it. If that means a larger rifle with special shit, or I don't know, just something. Because compared to all these, I'm outclassed.
How difficult would it be to re-engineer the vampire bullets to fake dragons? Specifically red dragons.
In nearly impossible. I've got to drain them and resynthesize an entire formula too.
I have
I can make those bullets. That is available to me. It just takes time to synthesize both the bullets itself and the material that goes inside before then.
What if we got you a source?
Do I have the? Does it help if I have the exact recipe you need?
It might.
What?
I do have to do some experimenting on certain bloods. Do you have the recipe for these?
I have the recipe for anti-dragon bullets, yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we covered this, right?
Yeah, those were the ingredients.
The radio recap missed that part. It's fine.
That was the ingredients I was looking for, but it sounds like they're a lot more complicated and you might need special tools, which I will not have. So, here you go.
Oh, the stuff you learned from hit. Oh, right.
He takes it and looks at it for a second. Pulls out a pair of bifocals.
And I have I did copy because I knew we were coming here. I did copy just the dragon one, and not all the other recipes that he gave me.
I mean, I can just go out and grab, 1, 2, or like a trench coat full of them red kobolds and drag them back here.
With this, I could probably make a rune and put it into a weapon if necessary. Then you don't have to worry about it being a part of the bullets at all. You could just continuously hit them.
Do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, now that'd be kind of...
Sounds pretty good. You want to do that, and we'll put that on Sarah Jane?
Yeah, I mean, she bites. She doesn't bite that hard, but that would probably help.
Could do a revolver too, if you want.
I might be able to complete one of these.
Right. I meant, one or the other. Not.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I see. I apologize.
I mean, how long would it take you to mess with Sarah Jane? Maybe bore her out, slightly bigger caliber, fix that sight shit that they put on, and I don't know, make her do this kind of dragon killing stuff.
Well, I could do most of the work that you're looking to get done by tomorrow. It's the Dragonbane stone that's going to be most of my time.
Would it help at all if you had an assistant? Kind of glancing between
No.
Copper and Harold.
Absolutely not.
would it help if you had a whole bunch of kobolds to practice with?
No.
Damn.
And you put that bound stuff on either this armor or this hilt
Which hilt?
of the vapor one.
He picks up the Vapor's grip and kind of looks it over for a second. He says,
We would need to not be on either side is where that's kind of all the stuff happens.
right.
Yeah.
He sets it off to the side for a minute and pulls a pencil out from behind his ear. He draws a circle around your Vapor's grip.
Mm-hmm.
And he begins to draw a handful of different runes around it that begin to glow on the table as he identifies it.
So,
huh. Interesting. There's space for one of my smaller runes. I could probably do your bound. Probably bind it to you.
sounds great. Then I can get it in where I need it.
Phrasing, I think.
You should see what he does with a cheese knife.
Jim, did that help?
This one wouldn't take me long. I could probably get this prepped and ready for you today.
That'd be great.
Does anybody else have anything else that they'd like to get in that I've already got made?
I don't know if it would work, but I have a sling. I don't use it that much, but
A sling?
yeah. Not really a weapons person, but that's what I have.
What are you wanting to do to it?
But you know, the dragon-bound shit. Make it stronger.
Against dragons specific? You're gonna throw rocks at a dragon?
Yeah, if they're really hard rocks, and if you help, maybe they could actually do something, is what I'm trying to say.
Interesting friends, to say the least. Yeah, I could probably...
Coworkers.
I could do it.
Look, if you think... Look,
You hear that? He's not even
Don't
friends.
have
Oh my. Ugh.
if it's stupid, we don't have to do it. I can do other stuff. It's okay.
Chuck just has our characters bring his NPCs food so he has an excuse to eat on stream.
Yep.
Really craving cheeseburgers tonight.
And instead of the sling, do you think you'd want to maybe learn how to use a gun?
I did offer. I can
Yeah,
get you, I can do what you're asking for. It's not stupid. It's just it's a funny image in my head. I don't know what to tell you. I'm used to high caliber weapons.
No, I don't understand why we would try to pressure a copper into using a firearm.
Because it's more effective against something that has scales than rocks.
Based on your personal experience, believe me, I have managed just fine without one.
Are you throwing rocks at dragons too?
I can.
He likes to punch things.
Oh.
I could try. Like I said, I've never shot a gun before, but like I could try. It probably isn't a bad idea to learn how to do things. There's never any harm in knowing more things, right?
Mm-hmm. If you'd like to learn, you can
Do what you want.
Okay.
So, above board, all of you should have access to Heavy Arms, the complete Armorer's Handbook, somewhere. If you do not, please let me know. You can effectively do just about any of the runes into a runestone available there. So feel free to dig through that. for a moment if you want to.
Hey, does my nearby friend deal in magical tattoos? Did we talk about that?
He can. If you want them to be permanent, that takes time and money. If you just want, like,
we got money.
If you want to, you do the needle thing that we did with Veda earlier.
More money than time or sense.
That's a toss-up.
Okay.
It's too bad you guys don't have a paladin in your group, because a superconductor rune on a gun would be insane.
Chuck, I don't think I have that source.
Okay, give me two shakes.
Yeah, thanks.
Give me 2 fucks.
Sorry, I'm fresh out of fucks.
Gave my last one yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a really big PDF.
Picked a bad time to quit drinking.
It starts on the options start on page 18.
Got you.
See, I was thinking Veda with an Eldritch Claw tattoo.
Ooh.
That'd be dope.
I thought about that.
Or the Shadow Step one, the Shadowfell one.
Yeah. But I got my item. That's what I asked for.
Do dragon
Not I want one.
Do dragon attacks like claw and count as weapon attacks?
No, usually they're natural attack. And they're like natural weapon.
Just for purposes of roots, just checking. Okay, never mind.
They call it a breath weapon.
Let's see. What's the name of the other one that we use?
Listen, halitosis is not a joke.
Do you have the other one pulled up, Trevor?
Which one?
The gun book. What's it called?
Yeah,
Gun Nuts Guide.
Yeah. I got them both. Why? What are you looking for?
Because for some reason I don't have it right now.
The one I was looking at was the anti-material rifle.
You want to send me that PDF real quick?
Yeah.
I know I've got it around here somewhere. I just can't find it.
I just reopened the other one. 1 second. Arcane Artillery Gun Nuts Guide.
Oh, it's right there. I'm looking at it. Sorry, you don't have to say anything.
The Gun Nuts Guide. Yeah.
God, Arcane Artillery.
Yeah, Arcane Artillery, Gunslinger, and Arcane Armaments or Armor Guide.
So he's not going to be able to make an anti-material rifle.
Damn it!
He could probably make a heavy rifle.
Hey, if it does more than 1d12, I'll be happy with that.
I believe that, if I remember right, a heavy rifle does 3d8.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a different one that I'm thinking of. Hand cannon.
Jesus.
Yeah, bulky rifle.
I thought the rooftop garden was bad.
As for attachments, let's see. He's just going to replace the sight on it and just put a nicer one on. It doesn't change anything.
Okay. That's easy.
Yeah, it just looks nicer.
Not even a +1 to hit? Wow.
It already is.
It already is a +1 to hit.
Right, so not even a +2 to hit? Wow.
It's just a nice one.
No, it's not. It was +1 when it was infused. Now it's just I can reroll 1s and 2s if I use a bonus action to mark the target. And
that's the beam marker. I'm talking about I was going to give you the glowing dot sight.
Oh, that'll work. Sure. Yeah, please.
Okay.
I only have a beam marker on it.
He can offer a suppressor. But probably only one.
All right. Don't really need that. because I'm going to be in the middle of shit.
Anybody else have anything that they want to look through or do with McCandless? Would you like to ask him any questions about anything other than what you already have? I think we got most of the information that you needed from him so far. He does... Now, I do know that if you'd like, I could start synthesizing a repressant for the blood bullets that I made. It wouldn't necessarily make you immune, but it would help.
Anything would help. They tend to just make me very sleepy for a little while, but that's me drinking it, not being shot with one.
Being shot with one will just make you sleep for a day.
Oh.
So, I could probably make an injection available to you that would counteract such things that somebody else could carry.
Yes. Needles, but yes, that would be fine.
Are you okay? Very well.
Dylan, were you looking at displacement when you asked about weapon attacks?
Yes, might be good for a piece of armor. I was thinking for either me or for Harold, but you might be full attunement.
Displacement and hunt would be fun to have.
Yeah, it's really tough for. I want hunt as well, but I can't have.
To be clear, he could probably succeed in getting, making and setting 2 rares, 1 very rare, 3 uncommons or 4 commons that he doesn't already have. He has a single hunt, which would take roughly 10 minutes to put in. He has a modicum of bound weapon and bound armor for his own personal use. He does not have Dragonbane ready yet. He does have a Bastion ready. He has a Chaos ready, but that's different.
That doesn't look comfortable.
Chaos is fun, okay? Especially for a gunslinger.
I mean, yeah, but...
You want to do magic shit.
Not really, but...
So I have a question for you.
And he does have a soul trap. What?
So, as far as the Vapor's Grip, how inconspicuous is it when it's not a weapon? Is it something that could be relatively easily hidden and or passed off as something that's not a weapon?
No, it is. It looks special just holding it in your hand. The crystalline structures on the actual grip itself, like the leather strap that goes over your knuckles, is like noticeably magic as it kind of gives off a weird mist.
Okay, cool.
And he can only slot an uncommon into the grip.
Cool. That's what I thought. I was exactly what I was picturing. So yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it with the
bound weapon.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm good. Actually, I think I'm going to leave.
Come back anytime.
As for the anti-dragon stuff, is that only useful in creating the Dragonbane rune, or would he also be able to make some of the blood bullets for
He
anyone
could
else that
make a
wanted to do
grand total of probably 2 if you went and picked them up on the day of the
2?
bullets.
2's enough.
And then he could make a rune in that time as well. Because our boy McCandless doesn't have to sleep.
Dope. Cool. Let's do it. I don't know if anybody's using it, but we'll make a Dragonbane rune and the 2 bullets. Faux show.
Okay. Eli, is there anything you'd like? He is. I mean, if you want to put the dragon bane into the sling, which is the most hilarious
Very,
thing.
very funny. Very entertaining. Very, very entertaining.
That is pretty damn awesome.
I do think it would be really funny.
I'm a big fan
It's
of
the
doing
kind of-
things that are very impractical for 5e.
Yeah,
but still
yeah.
a lot of fun.
I love stupid stuff so much, you know?
Just David and Goliath, that shit.
Listen, I once built
Yeah,
a character with
yeah.
all water spells. That was super helpful.
You know what? I do want to do it. And I'll reveal more about how much fun that's going to be later for me. So, that's
Yeah, I
what
mean,
it's like.
If no one wants it, then
Got our little Peter fucking Pan over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, depends. What does Trevor? Trevor, what do you want? You want
I
anything?
just the dragon bane is pretty much it.
The dragon
It's-
bane
it-
bullets or the rune?
The rune in the rifle and whatever he can do to the rifle.
You two can fight over it.
No, if Mac should take it if it's between us.
hey, you could
That's
put
not a fight.
Obviously.
you could put you could put something else on a sling though if you really want something to be your weapon.
Hey Mac, do you
Oh.
want to risk the entire party for my bit joke?
I promise it'll be really funny when it happens.
Can he put chalice on my armor?
Yeah.
Awesome, I'll do that as well.
Okay. So far we have a Dragonbane rune,
Uh-huh.
a bound weapon rune, which he already has. He can make a chalice, and that's a rare. Those are probably the only two that he could make.
Yeah, if no one else
that aren't prepped.
if no one else wants something, then we can do
No,
chalice.
No, you should do it. There's nothing else that's super calling to me, so.
How many
Just-
bounds does he have in stock?
A lot.
But uncommon, they're pretty easy.
This is part of what he preps for. This man is everything I dream of playing whenever it comes to a gunslinger.
Because like a handful of bound runes in small personal weapons like blowguns and revolvers.
Well, the thing
and-
is they do you do have to attune to whatever the thing is bound to.
Yep.
So
You have to attune to the rune.
yeah,
Actually,
to the
it either counts as
Bow, bow,
part
bow,
of the
bow.
attunement for a magical weapon, or it now makes it attuned.
Right.
So you are limited with what you can do.
Can I put a
Lord.
bound rune on one of my daggers? Actually, I'll do that.
Actually, do you just have normal daggers?
Yeah.
Can he put an attunement, or can you put one and then put it into one of the Arwentinian granite daggers? I'll pass it to Copper.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's rude.
What is that?
So one, if it's very well a druid because it's a stone dagger, and two, it does some special stuff. I'll send you the deeds so you can add it.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can only
I'll just drop it onto your sheet. Give me a second.
Okay, that works. Yeah, yeah.
you can only attune to 3 things total. I only have 2 spots left.
Oh, you have 2 spots left. An extra bound wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, but that I couldn't bind both revolvers and a rifle.
You could do 1 revolver, better than none.
That is true. Oh no, I'd have to,
There you go.
because I would be bound to the
Thanks.
Dragonbane rune.
The details are not in there. I'm sorry. Hold on.
That's
And
okay. I got D&D
bound-
Beyond up.
Yeah, I'd be
it's not
bound to
D&D Beyond.
that.
Oh.
And bound to the.
Fine. Keep your secrets.
Oh. I didn't put
Yeah,
the details into the Armantinian dagger. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can only bind to 2 runes, not so it would have to be 1 Dragonbane and 1 bound.
hmm
Which I would rather have both in the rifle than in the. Yeah, go ahead, take my revolvers. That's fine.
Well,
Shadunk.
if you're gonna do that, I will count it as a single attunement to the same weapon, so you still have another attunement slot open if you want to.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna be a jerk.
Hey, man, I'm just reading the guide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there can be a dragon bane and a bound in the rifle and a bound in one of the revolvers, then I can at least have a revolver confiscated if it's not in a clutch of holding.
Well, regardless, you guys can handle that a little bit more as we get to break some of the finer details. Is there anything else that you want to talk to McCandless about other than those smaller details and stuff?
Well, we've covered the ammo. We've covered we're going to kill his clients. We covered the fact that Wilhelm doesn't like him.
Yep.
Like anybody.
There is that.
Would he identify something for me?
Probably.
Sweet.
What do you want to identify?
Since everybody else is giving me a whole lot of shit for it. No. I know. You guys give me shit for it. So you don't get to know what it does. I'll have them identify the burning heart.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll send you the finer details of what you didn't get before.
Thanks.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I'll keep my secrets, Harold.
I'm this close to having him identify. Oh, wait. I still have that potion, like that sunbeam potion thing.
What are you talking about?
Harris.
You got it like several years ago.
I still have this potion that like sunlight or something comes out of it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah. You gonna have him identify that too?
It's either that or the ring.
We can talk about it later.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
The real question is, are you leaving the rifle behind? Or are you gonna let him do the rune before you leave? Are you gonna let him put the rune in before you leave? What are you walking away with? I guess
one revolver. I'm leaving a revolver and the rifle behind because I know the amount it's going to take to work on them.
Okay, great, cool.
Which sucks, but yeah.
If there's nothing else that you guys would like to talk to McCandless about or handle with McCandless, where are we going to next? What's the plan? Sounds like we've got roughly a week and a half to 2 weeks to actually get the party together. Let's start planning a party. Who's going where? Who's doing what?
I'm sorry. Was that legit, JD?
Yeah, I think I might have conked up.
I just see in the corner of my screen. Oh, can't wait to watch that in the VOD.
Again, I have a friend close by.
Yep.
That I was going to go see real quick.
Okay.
Do you have any sort of pamphlet material I should read ahead of time?
No.
Okay.
The complete tattoos guide coming soon.
Yeah.
From Heavy Arms.
Heavy Arms tattoos.
I don't know if Vedas
really make
is
your arms
still coming
thick.
with me on the bike or not. I don't know what that looks like.
Oh yeah, we'll ride back
It's up to
together,
you.
sure.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Then, Vid, I have a stop to make if you don't mind.
That's fine. Where are we going?
That's just an old friend of mine.
Yeah, where are we going?
You can't see it because she's riding behind you, but she makes a face like he has other friends.
Oh, I thought we were all standing together while you were talking about this. Like, yeah, so where are we going?
No, while you guys were perusing, I think Wilhelm gets just fed up. Just walked
We're
out.
inside
Fired up the
the
bike.
jet. Grab the bags.
I hate shopping missions.
Oh, I haven't heard you mention anything. It's not for Ghani, is it?
Where
It's
is
going
the
60
trust?
miles down the road.
I feel like you caught me.
Wow.
Yeah, all right, family.
Lugan's shop
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
is not far from here, yeah?
No, it's not. It's like literally 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
Okay. So as the two of you hop onto the bike and kind of head in that direction, it's a nice little bike ride. It's quick. It's painless. And as you pull up, you can see this kind of larger half-orc gentleman, one of his tusks kind of like almost piercing his lip, balding a little bit, kind of the rest of his hair pulled back a little bit. You can see tattoos swirling across his arms. He looks up in the grayscale and sees you guys coming as he's like hauling a large piece of junk, like a large like he's got a cherry picker with an engine block on it that he's kind of like trying to haul onto the interior of the building, but as one of the wheels keeps getting caught, he sees you guys pull up.
Give me your hands there, old man.
Not nearly as old as you seem to think I am, son. But, you know, yes, I could always use a good hand.
I'll give my hand.
Okay. It takes a couple minutes for you guys to get the angle right, because he keeps, like, shoving it in the wrong direction.
Pivot.
Kind of have to, like...
I said pivot.
To the left.
No, I'm doing it right, I swear. It's just, it doesn't want to... The wheel keeps turning on its own and just gets stuck.
Well, if only I knew a guy who could fix a wheel.
It's supposed to mean something.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah, of course. And he pulls the cherry. You guys get the cherry picker in, and the room this time around, Wilhelm is filled up. He has been working hard at gathering junk into this place. There's like small oil stains in different spots. As you can see, a variety of different metal parts of different vehicles that have been pulled from all sorts of different styles of cars, just like strewn across the floor. You can see it like a full metal desk that has a huge dent in the center of it, like kind of leaned up against one of the walls. And there's just like this single chair with a small set of machinery next to it with a plate with a tattoo gun on top, just kind of sitting off to the side in the corner. He pulls out a set of rags. He looks at your arms and goes, "What happened this time?"
Very long story.
Well, you know how long this is going to take?
No, it's actually not this time. We are in a bit of a rush. And I'm sorry, Lugan Merck. This is my friend Veda Bennett.
Hello.
He puts a hand out.
Yeah, she'll take it.
His hand like swallows yours.
She's got
just,
little
like,
baby hands,
shakes
yeah.
it. His hands are massive, and he's just like, "Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. What are we doing here?"
I wanted to see what you had prepared. There are a couple different things I want to look at. You haven't finished your magnum opus yet, have you?
Which one are you calling my Magnus Opus?
Your Blood Fury.
I've never had anybody sit down long enough for me to do it, so no. Unless you're talking about condensed into a needle, in which case, no.
Needles?
He looks at your arms. Like that one.
Oh, this is just magic, actually. This isn't...
I understand. There was a needle held to your skin for about an hour.
Yes,
yes, but it actually didn't hurt. It was just...
Yes, I understand how I make them, dear.
Oh.
Yes, Lugan is my tattoo artist, as well as my friend.
Ooh, you really know how to pick them, don't you, bud?
Damn!
Easy.
I would not take that as an insult.
Oh, mean it insultingly. It's just
How long would I have to sit for that one?
For that one?
Yeah.
It's a multiple day situation. It'll take at least, I'd say probably, considering it needs to be permanent, 4 days of work.
Total?
8-hour sessions, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I would go as long as you can. But also, be careful. Miss Bennett is more capable than perhaps she appears. And I know last time we spoke, you mentioned that the Eldritch Claw fun.
Oh, yes, I do have that one ready.
Do you have it in the painless needle form?
Yes. I've finished one actually about 2 days ago.
So, Veda, I'm not certain if you're familiar with this particular enchantment, but it would allow you to do your strikes at range.
Oh.
So you'd be a little more maneuverable in the field.
Like I throw my hands.
Like you punch, but it would go 15 feet or so.
Like my arms would extend.
No, and he turns away from his tattoo chair, and after pulling a small slot out, and there's it looks like he's got a tackle box full of little bitty toothpick holders with needles inside of them, and each one has a really terribly written rune on each one. He pulls it out.
He's the opposite of McCandless.
Yeah, he is. He pulls one out, and he kind of sits the rest down on the chair, and he pulls the needle out, and he goes, the ink itself would actually extend itself out with the full force of your weight behind it on top of the weight of the ink.
Oh.
It's actually quite interesting. Would you like to see it? I've got one of my own on me already. It's
Yeah.
permanent. And he sticks the needle back inside, sets it aside, and then he just, and as he does, the ink falls from his hand, falls down to his hands, and make these massive inky claws that he then and he punches the desk, and the dent gets deeper. Like that. And he pulls it back in.
Does it have to be on my hands?
Well,
I'm not quite sure the hospital would have that up to code.
no, I guess you could put it on your legs.
Oh, all right. What about here?
It's
I
a
can
rather
shoulder
large-
check someone from across the street.
He pulls he starts unbuttoning his shirt that was already mismatched. And he goes, no, I'm gonna show you this, and he pulls the shirt off, and you can see his entire chest is tatted up. But he starts pointing out a portion of it that's connected from across his collarbone over to his shoulders, down his arms. He says, this is about how big this one is.
She looks over at Wilhelm as just that's a lot of tattoo on me.
It is up to you. If we do the other one, it's not permanent. You could always remove it.
Right, you could take it. You could take it off for work, I suppose.
Oh,
You just have to reapply it. You just have to hold it there for an hour again.
You really know how to pick them, don't you, bud?
I just
Keep it up. She'll give you a good whack.
I've never had one before, and now I have this
I could
one.
take it.
And it's quite pretty. What does it look like again?
He pulls his, he shows you, kind of turns around, and the tattoo itself is almost like a tribal tattoo that kind of swirls around his arms, kind of in sharp angles. And as you're looking at it, you can actually see small, what look like crow's claws, like crow talons coming out from various different points of it, gripping the arm itself. It looks like the actual arm is being gripped inward with the way that the ink is laid.
Yes. I mean, it would be very helpful after all.
If you want it, you could just have it. I'm not gonna.
Oh,
Charge you for
that's
it.
very generous. Thank you.
Well, I've known this young lad, this chap, for a long time, haven't I? And he smacks Wilhelm on the back.
Yes.
I've been doing his tattoos for years.
So, you're never going to believe this. And he looks around. And Veda, I think you would probably be able to realize that Wilhelm's making a bit of a show of this.
Sure.
Like he kind of looks over his shoulder. But we're headed up to the casino. As it turns out, American, you cannot tell this to anyone. Keelong is involved with disappearing children and turning them into kobolds. He's even been stealing eggs from the other dragons.
Wasn't that interesting?
Right, who would have thought, right? So we are going to go take him down.
You're going to kill one of the... He grabs you by the lapel and pulls you in close and says, you better not fucking die up there on that hill.
Oh, you know better than that. But I thought you would like it, right? See, Miss Bennett, Mr. Merck likes a bit of a conspiracy theory. He's constantly telling me that the junkyard here is run by a black dragon.
It's because it is. I've seen it burning the trash out there. What do you think it does? What do you think they do with all this junk? Huh?
But
that's why I take some of it.
I mean, we have seen stranger things in Kasmar.
Black dragons don't burn.
No, okay, you know what I mean. With the whole acid and the thing.
Well, they might not burn, but they can still be entrepreneurs.
Right, there's no kobolds. The chromatics are not allowed within the city. The metallics would never allow it.
I don't know how those treaties work. For all I know, it's an egg.
I have yet to see a
out
single bit of evidence, and you've been telling me this for years.
Done lots of things that aren't actually allowed.
What?
Of course, it's a possibility.
Just because things aren't allowed doesn't mean people are not doing it.
Exactly.
I'm not supposed to go in and take the junk that I do.
If you think that the Gith are not aware of what you're doing, I would be shocked at this point, Mr. Merck.
Yeah, I have a few deals struck.
I believe you.
Thank you, dear. Man, you really know how to pick them, don't you?
You see, I got the bike working again, so keep an eye out for any pots for me.
I will. I'll be sure to keep an eye out. I don't... Kind of looks out the window. It's kind of murky. Cleans it off. Looks out. I don't think I have anything at the moment for that particular model.
Just keep an eye out for me. I know, okay, well...
how do I...
We have time for this tattoo.
You want to do it now?
Well, we have at least a week.
I get to do it. I get to do it. And he smashes the table again.
What
and
does it?
Blink.
What does it do?
Oh. What does it do?
You talking about for mine?
Yes.
What doesn't it do?
I think Chuck is looking it up right now.
I am.
I made him agree to it before he looked it up.
Well, I know what the blood fairy. I know it's technically legendary, so it's one of those things that I'm gonna make you fucking pay for it, buddy.
To a wish. Anything he says just becomes true.
It's a tattoo that makes Wilhelm more like you.
Oh, it turns him into a vampire. Okay.
Not technically, but
no.
Wow,
but I can do.
There's a reason it's called Blood Fury.
After all this talk, wow, I see how it is. Okay.
It's that's not what
men
it does.
do stranger things for women all the time.
But I can if I hit, I do necrotic damage and regain the number of hit points equal to the necrotic damage.
And you can use your reaction to make a melee attack against someone that's damaging you, and you can attack them at advantage.
Right. You should. Okay.
Yeah. It's great. It's a great thing. It's great. It's really a great tattoo.
Great. I think that would be very beneficial. I have to say though, he doesn't actually have much what do they say? Real estate?
I'm aware. I've been doing his tattoos since he showed up in Kasmar.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that a lot of them tend to not be permanent for me, regardless of the situation.
This one, however.
Yes, I'm aware. I've been thinking of it for some time, but I wanted to wait till you were good enough to do it.
What is that supposed to mean? Of course I could do it. That's piece of shit. He walks over to.
I don't know if that is a priority right now. I don't know if you want to sit here for 8 hours, Veda. But
I have books. She just pulls out of her bag of holding. She's got like a little stack of like 6 books. Library, of course. Library.
Does Harold knows those? Does Harold knows those are know those are missing?
Probably.
No, they're library books, okay? Because Veda supports her community. Okay, thank you.
More of a priority right now, obviously with Keelong. Would be fire absorbing.
To be clear, ma'am, I wouldn't want you to have to deal with such indecency, but he would have to be completely naked for me to.
Oh, please continue.
Please get tattooed.
He's my ride. I gotta be here. Might as well.
We could start it tomorrow. It's
She's
fine.
trying not to blush. Just trying to like, okay.
Tomorrow.
You speaking Welsh?
Tomorrow.
I mean, already was roommates with a side of beef, so just get to it.
She's probably seen Mac naked. Mac's just like he's like a forever naked kind of guy at the house, you know.
Definitely.
Like it's natural, you know. It's natural.
Explains why Weatherford used to stay there all the
He's
time.
already Donald Duck.
Why are you so weirded out, Veda? This is the natural state. Would you like some bacon?
I got fur. It's all good.
So,
I mean, real bacon, not.
So
Wilhelm doesn't have any fur.
Is it what?
It's all been singed off every time he gets a little upset.
Oh Lord!
Oh man.
God!
I could just
Talk about a Brazilian.
The pubes are just a little bit curlier than normal.
Oh my God!
Anyway.
Oh my God!
So, that's gonna happen. Great, wonderful.
That's funny.
What about fire absorbing? Does he have that just real quick? Because I know Veda got one.
Oh yes, Baron. Harold would be.
You know what?
I gotta tank this dragon. That was the plan. So
I take dragons too. I have a lot of hit points.
You and I are gonna tank this dragon together.
Okay. Thank you.
Totally forgot to ask about
we
fire,
love tanking
fire
dragons.
resistance.
Hey, Eli, give me a number between 1 and 100.
54.
Okay. So between 54 and 64, he has one.
Eli, come on.
63, he has one.
Fuck yeah!
Wow.
You're
I got
welcome.
that was a low percentile.
Excuse me, JD. Thank you, Eli.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Eli.
Great job, Eli.
Thank you, Dilla.
Great job, Eli. You did wonderful.
Eli,
Fuck you, JD.
Yeah, JD.
large scheme of things, you didn't really help.
Wow.
Oh.
Please.
Let's hear-
Believe
He
you
has one.
guys,
Anything
right?
else?
Could I have it?
This is negging. It's 2003. Like, what the fuck?
I'm going to say that if you're getting the Blood Fury, you will not have space for the...
Can I have the temporary needle version of the fire one?
Yes.
Well, what does the group think above table? Should I take the fire one for this fight or take the Blood Fury for this fight?
For sure, the fire one.
I mean,
Fire.
If you
can
have
clerics can absorb elements?
I do have absorb
I
elements.
did just say
they
absorb
have
elements.
elemental absorb.
I do have absorb elements.
But
The
it is
other-
I would use that instead of the fire.
That was
tattoo
my
for
thought.
now,
Yeah, next level I'll be
because it'll
resistant
give
to
you
fire,
extra
so-
boom boom.
You're
too.
not going to be able to remove
Oh, wait.
the Blood Fury.
I know.
Ever. It
That's
is
what I
going to
mean.
be permanent. So you're not going to be able to swap it out
well,
for...
absorb elements is only for like one attack, one
Yeah.
round.
the other thing Pip will pipe up, he does have an amulet of fire resistance that he no longer needs.
Mm.
It does require attunement though.
Okay,
I'll have one
I think
attunement
you should
slot
take
still.
it for now. I think the fire tattoo will be because absorb elements
So-
is only it takes a spell slot. It's only one round.
I
And
imagine
that would be
Wilhelm's going to be
three
doing more
people.
melee attacking than spell slotting, though. So that was my
That's
thought.
true. That's true.
Well, you could
Yeah,
do
and
the
then I can
tattoo
heal
and
myself
take
if
the
everybody
amulet.
else is in a real bad way and do damage.
You could take the blood tattoo and take the amulet of fire resistance as well.
Let's do that. Tell you what, I will pay for both of them when I come back. Just give me a price. Who starts the Blood Fury tomorrow? Can I take the other ones? Because I think one of my other friends, perhaps. Maybe just...
Well, if you're going to be taking down a child-stealing, egg-stealing, key-long, fire bullshit asshole up on a hill.
You know, you can come with us.
Ooh,
Hey,
that
JD,
sounds like
check the
fun.
ghost step.
However, I'm going to
For
be
you?
taking that tattoo if that's the case.
Harold wanted a ghost step tattoo?
No.
Maybe.
Okay.
Nah.
Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. I have to come back anyways. Harold's seen me naked a bunch of times.
Also true.
Unwilling
Why?
every time.
Yeah, why?
He lives there.
We live together now.
Oh, yeah, true.
I've seen all of my roommates that I have had in life.
I have not.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, it was never an issue for me.
Yeah,
Listen,
I've
we don't
never
have to
had
talk
roommates,
about that right now.
so-
Anyway.
I lived in a van with 4 other guys, so.
Alright, anybody else have anything else that they would like to handle?
Apparently 4 other guys in the van.
At the same time.
It was a good time.
Going once, going twice.
Yep, I think
What's the next step?
I think that's it for at least for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, JD, go ahead and take the amulet of fire resistance if you want.
Anyone want lightning resistance?
Would anybody like the fire resistance tattoo?
I mean, I'll always take stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, my attunements are full. I would have to have something very, very worthwhile to get rid of what I have.
Okay.
Amulet of Health and 2 spell books that are both fantastic. So.
Alright, well, if that is the case, we're going to go ahead and take our break here. Take 10 minutes. Now that we got all the shopping done in an hour and a half. Be sure to use your elf eggs, get your dice entries in while we are out.
I promise I'll start a fight with something so this gets interesting in the back half, don't worry.
Yep, it'll be great. See you guys in 10. Great. So, hey, welcome back, party people, to Sinner's Dream. I have ruined some nights over the course of our break and made some nights of other people in the same breath. So
I want to know whose night you made.
Don't worry about it.
Who's did you ruin?
Whose night did you ruin?
Didn't ruin anybody's
Fine.
night.
Yeah.
Then why are you lying to our fucking...
Because it's what I do best. I lie about the truth behind the scenes. Anyway, so
Can I have that sun potion
Chuck,
identified?
Chuck ruined my
Oh, yeah,
life
the sun
by
potion.
inviting
Thank
me
you.
to this game.
it's
so.
the sun potion literally doesn't do anything. It just glows.
Okay. So
Seriously?
it's not like
Mhm.
daylight
So
or anything.
it's
It just counts as like a lantern.
It's a
essentially.
fragile torch.
Mhm.
Sweet.
Interesting.
What a piece of shit.
The good news.
I've been holding on to this thing,
It's
waiting to
Scrungle. It's Scrungle.
uncork it in front of like a vampire, like undead, something like that, and it's just glow. It's
Vita's
just
like, what now?
It's gonna
basically
pour out. It's gonna pour out glow stick.
yeah. It's basically a glass glow stick.
Yes.
I am so mad.
No, that's great. That's great.
I am so happy right now.
I can
Okay,
always do
now he's ruined someone's night and made someone's night. He
There
just
you
he
go,
lied
there you go.
first,
Hey,
and
no.
we had to make an honest woman out of him.
No. God forbid anyone tries to turn invisible. This
So-
is basically fairy fire in a bottle.
You're not wrong. You could use it that way, I guess. It's creative. I'll count it. So, what is the plan after that day is over? Where are we all reconvening to the library? Are we starting work on the Scrungle house? Because it is not complete yet. We've already started inviting people. I think we've already hit everybody on your list, but you were going to go talk to someone about more people potentially. Is there anything else?
I think Harold is gonna basically have our friend Kirby Madoff basically reach out through him to figure out like who he thinks,
It's a high stakes kind of person.
yeah, who would play in that game,
that he doesn't like.
Wouldn't be too scrupulous. Perhaps someone he does not enjoy the presence of. Without scruples, rather unscrupulous.
All right, give me 2 shakes. Gotta pull up the
Our
list.
family's accountant, but he's also the accountant of like 20 other families.
Yes. I think you would mention the interests.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They're probably the
How could
only
we
ones
forget?
that have any issues with due to kind of how often his wife doesn't handle the things she's supposed to handle.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Bring them. Yes. One of us.
However, mystery interest is perfectly fine. So
Don't care.
I think mystery interest would be not a bad idea.
Anybody we bring on that boat is at high risk of death.
Well, we go with
We need to
Saffron.
keep
So-
like a
Saffron's
low
at least
number,
probably
so it's
immune
gonna
to
be like a
fire.
private game. So like, there
We
could
could also
be-
do Saffron.
you could
Yeah.
invite Saffron. That is very true.
That would be interesting.
Let's see. I've got
The
other things.
fire genasi.
Lava.
Lava.
Lava
magma.
genasi.
Love Genesee.
So right now there's 3 people that are immune to fire that'll be on that boat.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
want to kill Saffron anyway. Like Saffron's
Yeah.
neutral.
I do think that he would mention
Barb.
who?
Exactly.
No,
There's
Larry of
there's a-
Larry's.
I think
there's a
he'd
lovely
actually- I think
there's a
he would-
lovely health inspector I'm familiar with in the
would actually also mention one of the Lawsons, Jeremy Lawson.
remind me why I know that name.
The only Lawson that you guys would know would be Emma from
Ah,
Lilies.
Oh,
not playing with Emma's family. Not gonna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like we want to keep it really small. Like it would be like just the 6 of us plus.
I want people that can't get hurt and people we don't mind if they get hurt. Those are the 2 kinds of people I want on that boat.
Like Bryathos.
Brythus.
I'm not bringing any innocent people from the Lilies.
He's not
No.
innocent.
I mean,
To bring
just-
Alan.
He's just an asshole.
Hey.
Mac would want to bring Alan, I'm sure.
So Chuck, my downtime would be getting the Blood Fury tattoo,
Yep.
and whatever I can do in the meantime around that is trying to investigate this silver dragon. So I may have to go to the Lilies at some
Okay.
point.
Fantastic.
Harold is very interested in that too. If you happen to bring it up to him.
I remember I mentioned it to Harold specifically. I think
Yeah,
last week.
that's right. Yeah, I would want to help you in that endeavor. Yeah, just contracting out the boat, and
What size boat are we
and-
doing? We're talking like super yacht. We're talking like
no,
Talking like steamboat.
like a
Like a
yeah,
barge?
40-footer,
Oh,
something
doing a
nice,
theme?
like a
This will be like one of those themed costume parties. Everybody comes in Western outfits. So.
Yeah. Think
Like
Maverick.
Just kidding.
I'm not.
thinking like like a nice 40-footer with a nice interior space and somewhere that can be what he said.
Fancy. Yeah. Lots of red carpet.
Of course.
Yeah, classic.
Perhaps we can get a table from the Vapor. A nice card table.
That's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, I was for my downtime. I was going to partially reach out to the Vapor for 2 reasons. One, see if we get any supplies on the boat, just like a card table,
Okay.
or if they have a dealer that's relatively expendable. a professional
Just to ask
card
her how
dealer.
she is and what's her
Yeah.
day
Also, I would start with, "Hello, how are you?"
Hi, Granny.
Pleasantries,
Granny.
and then, "Hey, while I have you on the phone, this is what I was thinking."
My, what big teeth you have, Grandma.
Expendable but good dealer.
Right. So like a dealer that we could contract out, but not necessarily anybody she cares about.
We
Because
don't,
they're gonna be on a
we don't want a
boat.
white kobold there.
Yeah, she's running out of those.
Yeah, she wouldn't send one of those anyway. Okay. I've got a guy in mind.
Cool. Or if she has an alternative for a dealer, is there a magical system that just deals cards that they have in the casinos? Kind of situation.
Well, that radio broadcaster used to work for me.
Are the elevator wizards able to get people from the shore to a boat and back?
Elevator wizards? No, they're specific to elevators.
Oh man.
And then the
Are there elevators but horizontally?
Can we
The
invite
moving
the
walkway at
radio
the
guy?
airport? No, we're not inviting radio guy.
It's such a bad idea. The next thing
We're not inviting fucking Regani to my fucking boat. What kind of crack are you on?
Can we have 2 problems on this boat, please?
You've already invited multiple, so let's continue.
Right. And then so if we need to fill out the table, because we have a couple high profile things, I would ask if the Vapor has any high profile candidates for the card table that either the Vapor would rather have eliminated, but primarily to either entice Keelong or antagonize Keelong.
Preferably
at the table.
latter.
Yeah.
Preferably the latter.
So, if Keelong and them get in a fight, we can kind of intervene that way. Additionally, Keelong's like, "Oh, you invited this person, but not me? Fuck you, I'm showing up."
I rolled a 9 on a D100. No, she doesn't have anybody that she'd be willing to get rid of, that she is in contact with, and her kobolds are spread too thin at the moment.
For a dealer, I was just seeing primarily more socially.
For getting someone there that isn't the dealer, like contacts to invite
A fancy person to invite.
yeah,
a player.
All of her fancy.
All of this, by the way, is being coordinated and booked and paid for through our shell organization, Scrungles, Boxes, and Bagels.
Yeah.
Free.
Got it.
And boxes.
That sounds
Which we set up.
Boxes, bagels, and boxes.
Bagels, and boxes.
Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge. Yeah.
Scrungles, BB&B.
Yeah.
B&B. Okay, cool. No, she doesn't have anybody.
Okay, so she doesn't have anybody we can invite off the top of her head. Does she know of anybody that is like Keelong's rival? That would just
herself.
Okay, yeah, and we're not gonna have them over. Okay.
Nope.
Cool.
Ask her if we can invite the black dragon that runs the dump.
Are you going to ask that question?
Okay.
I told you he's very sincere. I would believe him.
But we can invite someone that we run into at the card table at the Dragon's Casino, and then go, "Oh, what? Sorry, you didn't hear about it? Well then." And so we have Keelong and another person from that table to irritate that they got invited before Keelong did.
That was literally,
Are we inviting Saffron?
Yeah, Saffron's he's a big like socialite essentially. So like his name is publicity.
Yeah, so that's 6.
Yeah, for sure.
Or no, that's 7 plus random person from the card table Keelong is at.
I have 5. Who's 7? We've got Harold, Scotty, James, one of the Johnsons, if not more, Yentris, and Saffron.
And Veda.
Oh, okay, yeah, our table's pretty full then. It's probably a good number of people, so we don't need to have anybody else there.
Okay, well, you guys invited most of them.
Did Wilhelm or anyone else have any problems with just using a person as a card dealer?
Yes.
Cool. Then instead, Pip will spend their downtime up with the Vapor and in the Vapor's casino.
Such a better idea.
and learn how to be a dealer.
What's your intelligence modifier?
+2.
Oh, come on.
No, yeah, +2.
Really? Wow.
+2, and I can have proficiency in cards.
Oh, well, then just take the proficiency in cards.
Okay, cool.
Because for you to actually learn that, it would be like downtime activity of learning a skill, so it's 10 minus your proficiency.
As someone
modifier.
who's been a dealer at a casino, I don't need +2 intelligence to do it.
But to be able to fuck with anybody, I would say you probably do.
Pip is
Okay.
very
But
good.
he has the sleight of hand scores.
Yeah, that's what he has that for.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and be I guess that'll be the plan, is I'll be the stand-in at the table for being a dealer.
Okay.
Who was the oil baron guy? What was his name?
Scotty.
Okay.
What
Scotty
about
James.
famous chefs?
we'll have Norzaldon cater it.
Do you actually want to find a famous chef?
Don't think that's a bad idea.
We will cater it and have the food on the boat so that we don't endanger a chef.
I know, but I was saying maybe one of us impersonates that famous chef.
You guys do know a catering company now. Through the vapor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather reach out to whatever that horrible named restaurant was.
Oh, Hobbs Nom Noms?
Benihana, actually. Benihana.
Oh, don't worry, honey. This face has seen more knives than a Benihana.
That's what I mean. Wilhelm could be there at the table. Just
Oh, shit.
Larry's cater it.
Can we cater people from gangers?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You absolutely probably could. You guys helped out Renee, and they're pretty thankful, so.
They will just be in the line of fire.
I don't want anyone from gangers because I don't want a bunch of people reading each other's minds. I already know James is going to be a problem, which is why I didn't want him there.
That's a good point.
You invited the guy that can read minds to a poker game.
In Devil's Advocate, as much as I also don't want anyone from gangers there, as Wilhelm.
You're not going to advocate for James.
The two rich people in our group found that to be extraordinarily decadent. And, I might add, probably not something everybody gets.
Yeah.
Not everybody knows it's there.
Yeah.
Gangers.
Fine.
The other thing is Gangers very successful, like resources?
It is. Gangers is, because you got to remember, they didn't even have menus. They just made stuff on the fly.
Yeah. And we went in there, it was like very fancy and like shishi and
So my thought
neither
might
of
be
you had heard of it.
yeah, neither of us had heard of it.
Which is something. So it's like it's a hole in the wall that only people who go to the docks would know about. So Scotty might know about it.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yintrist is a hard maybe. Saffron probably doesn't. Actually, no, Saffron just straight up doesn't. James might. James is a hard maybe on that one too.
It's not funny. I don't.
But if we pay them
Don't tell
enough,
Scotty.
they may be able to tell us what they are thinking as well. So we'll know a mental state of, say, 1 key long.
You
Okay.
know that they can't communicate it outward.
And here's the thing.
They can talk.
Yeah.
Unless Harold uses
Here's the thing.
telepathy
They're kind of like a canary in a coal mine, though, because they kind of just react to what is happening. So whatever the emotions and or thoughts of the individual that they are reading, they just sort of reflect that in that moment. So
Right, they would probably be more attentive to him, maybe, or like, can I get you a drink? Can I get you a hot towel?
yeah, or just start looking like me with my head ripped off or something, right? So it would be like it could be whatever.
I don't think they could do that.
Or they would realize that everyone on that boat is there because we want to fucking kill them. So, like, again, people that can read minds, bad idea.
Well, we'd have to get them in on what's happening.
That's what I'm saying. Pay them money to say, this is what's going on. This is the setup. Are you willing to do this and keep us informed?
They're already allies of us. Yeah, we saved their guy.
But it's the whole, like, here's a bunch of money, you may die. Where do we send the cash to the, who's your next of kin kind of thing?
They might have enough resources. Maybe they could do like a dimension
Gangers.
tour or have, kind of an exit plan.
Mm-hmm.
If we let them know in advance.
Yeah.
Which having mind reading people would be really difficult not to let them know in advance.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing.
Right. We could even have them all like look like Wilhelm, like serving, and then I could just be one of the servers.
That would be a little bit more suspicious.
Hi, we have a family of like
Don't be suspicious.
octuplets here. They'll be serving you tonight.
Could be a homunculi, whatever. I can't say
Malacrums.
it right now. I can't say it. Thank you.
So malacrums or homunculi?
Oh, I have a question. Do we know does True Sight work through a shape changer?
Yep.
Yes.
So
Right,
like they don't physically.
Thank you.
They don't physically change. It would be like their true
no,
self would be visible by a dragon.
Actually, that's a great question because technically it's not.
Yeah, they
Like,
physically
magical
alter
effect, right?
the bone
You
structure,
wouldn't
right?
be able to see through. You wouldn't be able to see.
It's
through
not an
yourself,
illusion.
would you? Yeah, it's not an illusion. It's
Transmutation.
It's like the bone structure is actually changing.
No. True Sight specifically says, I believe we can check this. You know the true form of a shapeshifter. I believe True Sight specifically says something along those lines.
I mean, it would imply with the name, man.
Humanitarians, got it.
Yeah, it says and perceives the original form of a shape changer or creature that is transformed by magic. Oh, wow. All right then.
Yeah.
Cool. So those would be ineffective against dragons, or at least it would.
It's
know
not that being ineffective. Again, it's more of it's a gimmick,
it's not
and
about
it's
it being caring. Like if
Yeah.
they know that it's a restaurant full of doppelgangers,
we just
and
can't
that's
use
the shtick,
we just can't use it to our advantage. Like I can't hide amongst
To
them
hide
kind of
you.
thing.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And God knows
We're
what that
inviting him or
dragon's
not?
going to see when he sees me.
are we inviting the doppelgangers? Or
I think it's smart.
I think
I
so.
think
yeah.
it's a good idea.
That's a good play.
Cool.
And
Well, at least let them choose for themselves. We'll reach out to Renee first. Say,
Yeah,
tell them
of course, yeah.
So, what's the plan for you guys to be on this boat? How are you guys going to be setting up?
I'm gonna be security.
I'm in the game.
Harold and I are hosting it.
Well, we're getting a little too ahead of ourselves because we can do that when we actually have the game.
Okay.
Would you guys like to go and invite Key along?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to dress up nice, take the airship, and then walk right in, head to the whale table.
Mhm. Hopefully, get on a lucky streak and.
Hey now,
But
who's
Harold
playing
in that
cards?
visit to,
Harold and Veda.
Harold in that visit to
Dang it.
in that visit to Gerby will take out a number of notes worth of gold from our stash that would make sense for like a high roller.
Yeah, so a buy-in of like
what would that make
200.
sense? What are we talking for a buy-in on notes wise?
Are you talking about like?
Are we talking 1 million?
At
Are
their
we talking
casino?
10,000? Are we talking 1,000? Are we talking?
I'd say 1,000. At their casino, like we're going to entice them at it. 1,000.
No, well, we have to go to the high roller table, so whatever their higher
Oh,
table
yeah,
would
yeah.
be, because
Entry fee for the real world of poker is $10,000.
Okay, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take that out. If that, I mean, I'm waiting for confirmation from the DM.
Yeah, no, that's completely
Okay.
reasonable.
Gotcha. So $10,000 buy-in, and then we give you 100,000 gold notes.
I was waiting for
gambling.
confirmation because I'm not going to show up with 10 grand and then be like, oh, that's all you have.
I mean, so you got to remember, we set this in like the 40s, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
So
yeah.
the buy-in's going to be probably a touch
Much
lower than
lower,
modern
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say maybe
Well,
five
five
would
grand a
be
piece.
acceptable
Yeah.
for each of you as buy-in, and then having your extra as reserve is completely reasonable and
Sure.
probably something that would happen at a table in the 40s.
Yeah,
probably
I mean,
50 grand each, so they can gamble and do multiple buy-ins if they run out of chips.
And we've had a little too many drinks, and we're a little too lucky.
I'm assuming the
and
buy-in,
spill the beans about it.
this type of establishment and at that level, and with your names, there would be a line of credit that the casino issues you, right? And because they know that your families are good for it, so you wouldn't even have to. You wouldn't have to carry 100,000 gold notes into this.
You could literally just carry around the chip that says, "I have the credit for this."
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Sweet.
And Wilhelm and I are their security or staff, did we decide?
I will be staff.
Okay.
Rushing around getting
it
baited.
still would make sense for you to be security.
Hopper and I will just be gambling on like the penny slots outside the underwater.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Nickels, and
That makes sense. No,
Yeah,
they'll be
we're
able
just
to
gonna
watch
be-
from other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll just be
Taste
close
the place.
by.
Yeah.
You guys did catch that the name of this casino this week, by the way, is the Jealous Devil.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What?
You know, that's it's a little.
Keelong's casino is
Oh.
called the Jealous Devil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's fitting.
See-
then James
see-
wants to take over.
There's a
fate.
reason.
Yeah.
Mr. James.
Ah, I see.
Uh-huh.
They named it out of spite. But yeah, like especially for trying to like count cards, potentially even like having copper and.
I'm not going to allow you to count
People
cards
look
unless you're proficient in playing cards
Oh, okay, that's fair.
above table.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, we're catching the Zeppelin up.
Mm-hmm.
Pip will
Finally.
also activate. Pip will also activate
11 o'clock.
the anti-divination tattoo before going into this casino.
As will Harold.
Okay, non-detection.
Yeah.
Same.
I think
How
across
long
the
is
board.
non-detection? Is it 8 hours?
8 hours.
Yeah.
This one in particular is 8 hours. Yes.
Across the board.
Typically non-detection is only like an hour.
It's like an hour.
Yeah. This one is special.
And I have one revolver, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
So, after about a week of work on the various different things that you guys have going on throughout this week following meeting up with McCandless, the freshly tatted up Wilhelm, dressed nicely, his tattoos a little bit sharper on the edges. You can see a bit of a tinge of red on the edges of each of the black markings, giving it almost this look of pure flame coming off of the ink itself. I don't think you guys got anything else particularly interesting, in my opinion. It is a smooth ride. The takeoff is a little rough at first, as you all go down to Sylvain Park. Catch the line to where it's not too long of a wait, and fly over the top of the city of Kasmar. And it's beautiful. You can see the glittering sea as the moon peeks out from a set of clouds, lighting up every district in this pale white. The pale white stretches across. You see that golden globe that is downtown. The train still up at the top of the hill, but people working on the railroad on the way down, putting new tunnels into various different places, trying to get a better system in place so that way what happened last time doesn't happen again. As you fly up and up and up and up, you come up above the clouds. At one point, your ears pop as you can see the casino district disappear. As you can see this tall building that was being erected in the distance, peeking out over the top of the clouds, next to a beautiful, beautiful, golden-topped mountain. As you can see, 5 resorts, bigger than those of the casinos down lower, all glittering in the moonlight. JD, I need you have the sage background, so I'll give you this.
I also have a question that involves my sage background, but can wait.
The name of the silver dragon is Tian Yan. It is an ancient silver dragon that, again, found its way down into underneath the entire city, burrowing at whatever speed it needs to burrow, and literally helped carve out this section of the Shaded Lilies. Incredibly well versed in all things Arcana. Apparently an archmage of sorts. And the history behind Tian Yan is muddled. There's no legends. There's no extra name to Tian Yan. It's just that he is very rigid in his workings, usually. What little that you do hear about him, you probably get along with him. He'd probably be pretty upset about kobolds being stolen, children being taken, eggs being stolen. But he apparently hasn't left his resort in well over 250 years. Odd correlation, isn't it?
That's the amount of time that Kasmar has been around, right?
Kasmar's been around for, I want to say, about 500, if I remember right. I'd have to check my notes. You're muted, JD.
I thought it was only 150, though.
That is how long each individual person can live, like, to the maximum of.
But dragons live that long?
You don't know. That hasn't been...
But nobody's seen him for 250 years. Where's his resort?
His resort is at the very top of the mountain with the other 4 chromatics. I mean, not chromatics, metallics.
Which... And what are they? There's a bronze, copper, gold? Gold,
Bronze,
platinum.
copper, gold, silver, platinum. Well, not platinum. Let's see the other one. Maybe one of the gems.
Brass.
Brass, thank you. I was like, knew I'm missing one. Yep.
So no platinum, though.
No platinum, no. Platinum's a
New
deity.
god. Yeah.
That's right. I'm sorry. Brain.
Bahamut.
But there is a gold.
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
His shit is actually what we make the gold coins out of.
You watch your goddamn mouth.
As you dock onto this tower, again, you have to kind of like exit out onto... It exits down into the casino district. It doesn't exit out towards the top at these resorts. You know that it's another probably 30-minute walk from here. You can take the gondola if you want, but it's probably going to be a little bit slower than walking if the powder isn't too thick. So it's one of those things of it's a 50-50 chance. But you are in the casino district. The street cobbled before you as the sounds of people roaming about, going from place to place in various different restaurants, small boutiques, going to the various different casinos and their smaller resorts. Are we just walking straight to the Jealous Devil?
Real quick, one thing Harold would not have forgotten to do, but Justin's been awake since 5 a.m., so he forgot to do, would be Harold would like research into like bylaws or rules and regulations and see if there are any known, like, other than the fact that we know there is no divination magic inside the casinos, because private sanctum, whether or not there's any like magical barring for, say, things like a transmutation spell or some other such.
It's free game. Do what you want to do out here in the casinos. Just don't cheat on your cards, and if you're caught cheating or do something that threatens anything about what these dragons are about, they get free reign to do whatever they want to up here.
So, and having one of each type, that's called a flush, right?
No, no.
Why do they call it a royal flush?
So it has to be all the same suit for a flush.
So that's the little thing, the little symbol, right?
Yes, the little symbol, yes. If they're all the same one, then that is a flush. A royal flush is king, queen, jack, 10, ace.
Right.
So that's a royal straight flush. A straight is any sequential order.
Right.
You don't want me playing?
Sure, should be fine.
Okay.
I can do it. I can do it. I'm very knowledgeable. I did get through medical school after all. Thank you.
And those words are much more difficult than this. I'm sure you'll be fine.
On our walk over, Pip will take out the deck of cards that he's been using to practice. Okay, so here you go. Here's kind of a look. And as Wilhelm is explaining, he's like holding up the just shuffling through, flipping through the cards and pulling up like, this is what he's talking about. To give her kind of an example.
Okay, and just here's one we used to play on the streets, all right? Find the queen. Okay, so here you go. Find.
I'm not that stupid. I'm the queen. Yeah, no plans.
You're muted, Chuck.
Thanks.
Notice how I didn't say it?
I'm gonna let him go.
I know,
That's
right?
how I didn't say it. No, because what happens is you say it, and then the thing pops up with a message. It's like, hey, you're muted. And then when your players comes in, as you're already angry at yourself, you're trying to find and hit the button, and one of your players pops up. You're muted.
You're muted, JD. So as
It's
you
that guy.
all
This one right
make so as you all make your way towards this large casino. Yes, Dylan.
One important note: Pip has the amulet tucked underneath every layer of clothing, and has also taken a special layer of precaution to put another chain through it and tie that around his torso so that it is not loose clothing. It is very firmly attached to his chest.
I ain't getting mugged today, bitches. I ain't getting mugged today.
Make a I don't know what to call that. There's a jeweler's kit proficiency, I think.
Tinker's tools.
Yep,
No.
when I will be proficient in any tool needed whenever I make this little check.
Jeweler's tools. Let's see.
Strap it down to it.
Give you a D20 plus your dex plus your proficiency then.
Awesome. Doing great. 26.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it is tight against your flesh.
Yeah. Just put that out there.
It's kind of warm. You can feel the point, that geometric point, perfectly in the middle of your sternum, almost, and it kind of like
It's like a bra wire coming undone. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep.
it's just
I know exactly what that feels like. It's good.
Absolutely welcome compared to any alternative.
Well, now you know. Now you know.
Oh, I can't wait for that day to come.
It's half the
Or for
battle.
Pip to wear a bra? It's fine.
No. No. Dylan knows what I'm talking about. Stepping towards this building it's overly ostentatious. Everything about this place is lights, bells, and whistles. There's even the point where there's the occasional illusory of fireworks overhead, followed by a quick gout of flame that off into the distance over the top of what looks like this massive devil's face, the beard pointed down to a tip, kind of twisted around each other, a very Ivan Ooze style, down underneath as it looks on with a cocked eyebrow and a bit of a scowl. As you enter in, you feel those eyes watching you before you step through a set of pillars, past a set of golden doors into the most red room you've ever been in. It feels like the world almost dilates around you inside this space. As you can see, the opposite of what there was in the Crystal Vapors space, as there's a large fountain, but instead of water flowing through it, there's physical magma spewing from the top down onto the next obsidian layer, down onto the next obsidian layer, pouring and constantly flowing, giving this immense heat. And that's whenever you realize that even on the porch out front, there was no snow whatsoever. As this lights the majority of the room, the various different slots ringing out jackpots here and there, winds there, a wind there, loud alarms blaring. As you see, like, small tables with crowds burrowed around them as people are throwing dice and scooping them towards each other and beginning to go towards roulette tables. As you enter into the space, what's the plan?
Oh, it's kind of nice in here.
Really nice in here.
I'm just
It's been some time since I've been up this way, but it's not always bad.
I'm just standing behind Wilhelm and Veda and Harold. Just quiet, arms crossed. Very, very small motif because I changed my glamored leather. So the coat, just along the bottom, has this tiny gray motif of snowflakes.
Love it.
Just on the trim, just slight enough to be noticeable in a little bit of a reflected firelight.
I think Wilhelm was probably wearing one of Harold's tuxes, and it's probably just a little too tight. But he goes. I'm going to go up to the
What
first
you trying to say?
red kobold that I see.
Oh, are we fancy dressed? Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm fancy dressed.
The red kobold that I see behind a desk or wherever people come in when they first walk in.
Okay. There's that entry desk, very similar to that of the Vapors. One red kobold that has, you can see a bit of a brown kind of going over the top of the ruddy red that's kind of been shined up. You can see that he's probably polished some of his scales. The mustache that is a long, thin bit kind of going down across the top of his snout. He adjusts his glasses as he's sitting in a nice black suit, and you can see what looks like red dragons kind of going across the sleeve of one side. He looks up at you all. Yes, what can I do for you?
Yes, I am here with Miss Veda Bennett and Mr. Harold Johnson. We are looking for a table suitable to their station. If you don't mind, and I will slip him 100 gold notes.
As he stands up and rises, kind of pulling it over to him, he takes a moment, looks him over, puts them into a drawer. I see. Well, let's see what we can do, yeah? And he kind of slides his chair over with a loud screech to a book, and he begins flipping through it for a moment. Well, what kind of games are we looking for tonight?
Cards, of course.
Well, I have to ask. There are craps. There's roulette.
Well, we are in the Jealous Devil. What would the proprietor recommend? What is Keelong's favorite sport?
It's in the background. Veda's asking Harold. They have a game called Crap. Crap?
Is actually somewhat of an interesting game. It's all about probability, and I kind of prefer it to poker sometimes, but I don't think that's what's going to get the job done here.
Yeah, he looks at you kind of over the top of the glasses at the end of his snout. Are you wanting to play with The proprietor.
Well, I think with clients of this caliber and the amount of money they're wagering,
Give me a few
would
moments.
he want to play with them?
Let me see. And he hops down off of his chair, and there's a secret door that opens up behind him that you didn't quite notice at first until it became incredibly apparent, kind of behind this crest of a large, like, flaming dragon over the head, going down, breathing out flames that turn into what look like illusory gold coins, pouring into a hand of what looks like a devil's claw. He steps behind that door and disappears for a few moments.
Oh, card game. Well, that's unfortunate. Guess they don't like skill players here. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, sir. Saying it just loud enough.
As they walk
Mr. Johnson is looking to impress Miss Bennett.
He has not returned.
Test his might against a worthy opponent.
Oh, just because he hasn't returned doesn't mean there aren't people
They
listening.
can't hear, yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
Anyways,
people in line, something like that.
Oh, just when they had walked in the door as planned, people have blended in the crowd. Go find a place to just kind of blow like small amounts of money for the average
full
Joe.
of quarters.
Copper would have done the same.
Full of
He'll,
electron.
Probably in a different direction than Peck, just in
Electron.
case.
Yeah,
Okay.
Close enough to keep an eye, but you know.
Yeah.
Miss
Maybe
Bennett,
like doing
I'm
a
so
lap
sorry
to
for the
like get a
delay.
lay of the land, but
Oh, that's a good idea.
yeah. Copper will do a lap and then find a place to spend a little money.
Yeah, scope out their
Yeah.
spot.
Yes, Miss Bennett, Mr. Johnson, I'm sorry for the delay. They're trying to make
Did you say
accommodations
perception?
for you now.
I'm
Quite
keeping
all
an
right,
eye
sir.
out for any other vampires that are in here.
Do it.
That's a 26 for Copper.
A mere 21 for Pip.
The 26 and the 21, as you kind of like begin to meander through the building, you realize that it's kind of chopped up. There are different rooms that are all kind of in different configurations, with walls in between, but there's not doors. There's like small hallways that go in and like go in and around, kind of like going around two sets of different walls to really kind of break up the feeling of being in a massive casino. So it feels a little bit more intimate in various different rooms, while other rooms are set up for things like concerts, for bigger entertainment than just gambling.
Natural 20.
With a natural 20,
27.
you're 27. Looking for vampires? You don't find any vampires, but you let me see. Roll that. I'm not just gonna give it
Like
to you.
I'm looking for vampires, but also, and I don't think they would be bold enough to talk about this out loud, but anything that's like talking about new kobolds, for instance, or maybe even boldly mentioning a hospital, but not like, hey, did you get those kids that we kidnapped from the hospital, but like she's listening for code words like that.
Okay. You know Draconic, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. With a perception check like that, I'll give you an insight check at advantage.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's gonna roll. Oof. Oh, great.
Fantastic.
10 and 11. Love that.
Excuse me. There are a couple of kobolds that are standing at the a set of double doors that look like they go into the resort. As you kind of like lean and look in that direction, you can see a couple step out from those double doors. You can see like a long hallway that looks like it goes into a much larger ballroom type area that is filled with red and gold and black furnishings. And as you are like looking in that direction, you see another kobold come out from between those doors behind that couple, and they start talking back and forth, talking about various different packages, various different shipments that haven't come in yet. They're looking for, somebody apparently fell asleep on the job. didn't get their package turned in the way that they were supposed to. Somebody didn't label their stuff correctly, and it's just a bunch of frustration. Back to the other two that are scoping out their space. What kind of spot are you looking for particularly?
Somewhere. If there's somewhere where I can keep an eye on everybody else, and I guess I would have seen like that door open as I was walking away, so I figure I'm not gonna be able to see them the whole time, but staying in view of that front area, so if there's a kerfuffle, I kind of know what's happening.
So as you're going through the casino, kind of trying to get the best spot on this, you realize that there's not going to be anywhere in this building that you can see both the high roller's room that it has its own door next to, like kind of down a bit of a hallway next to a small bar, like an L-shaped bar that there's a line going out across from. A couple of other patrons sitting at it currently, like drinking and watching a couple of different illusory games happening at the moment. There's a glass black door down that hallway behind that bar that in very bold letters that are fairly nondescript just says High Rollers on it. Going around the rest of the space, you almost get lost for about a half a second, but your sense of direction keeps you upright as you're kind of like, I already went through there. There are 4 sections to this casino. One that is focused on dice and slots. There's one that is focused on cards and roulette, and then there's another portion that is set up specifically for food and entertainment, like live entertainment, and then there's another portion that is set up just for nothing but slots. You could probably keep an eye on the high roller space from the entertainment room, and the slot room. But you wouldn't be able to keep
better view from the bar.
Yes, absolutely. But that's
Copper...
like right in line with that door. Like it's on the way. Like there's a wall. There's this little bit of a hallway to that door, then the bar.
Copper is going to sit at the bar.
How old is Copper again?
19.
Okay, cool. Noted.
Old enough in Kasmar. Playing by Europe rules.
Don't let him lie to you. He is underage.
And Pip, what are you doing? And I will say with over 20s, you realize that there are red and brown ruddy kobolds practically everywhere. Even the dealers are all kobolds or red dragonborn. There's no other races that are currently running any tables.
Pip will, having scoped out the kind of area, he'll go ahead and do the find a good slot machine to sit at.
Okay.
But as they've made their rounds, found kind of the spot, he'll go up to the front room to exchange for gold notes for whatever the cheapest one is, like probably Electrum or something like that. So he'll convert some of his gold notes into Electrum, and just kind of talk to himself as he passes by his group. No good spots. It's gonna be a rough one.
Quick, what are you two drinking?
Champagne.
Gin, please.
Should have known.
Okay.
So basically, I'll let them know we don't have a great spot to watch them, but be around.
Yes, I like the taste of freshly cleaned cabinets. It's for you, JD.
Okay.
Then I'll grab my Electrum and go to my spot. Find a decent machine and just kind of poke money in.
You lost Eli.
Oh no! But yeah, just poke money in.
Okay.
That's how stealthy Eli is right now.
Fantastic.
That's how stealthy Eli is right now. We don't even see him.
We don't even know where he is.
Don't even know. He's sitting at the bar. Don't even know. All right. Fantastic. So, as you all are waiting for this kobold to return, Is there anything else the other 4 of you would like to do?
I'm purposely stepped back from the 3 of them just to be a little imposing and prevent anyone else from coming in to get close to the, to the little kiosk. But I am looking high, and I want to see who's, just like in the Vapors, how many of these people are near a weapon, who's carrying what, just the whole, trying to memorize the whole thing.
Make a perception check.
How much
And
of
if
a
you're
shit
trying-
show are we in?
If you're trying to memorize it, I'll take it perception using intelligence instead of wisdom.
That's a good point. Were we allowed to bring in anything, or do they have like a weapons rule? Or
They haven't
They
told
didn't
us
stop
yet.
you.
awesome.
Woo-hoo-hoo! That'll be a 19. My intelligence is +0.
Nice. Cool.
But so if it's perception rolling with intelligence, it would be a total of a 23 because my proficiency is 4.
Okay. Watching them all at the tables themselves, you see them occasionally fiddling, like some of the more nervous-looking figures. They are like fiddling with something underneath the counter whenever something gets heated. Underneath the table, from the front desk, there are the front desk is probably armed. The people that are greeting up front are probably armed or near something available to them. The people near the double doors that go into the resort are probably armed. Let's see.
Like servers, definitely people at doors will be, people near cages will be, dealers, sure, like servers, bartenders, anything like that.
Even with a 19 on the die over a 20, I don't know that you would see any weapons on the front, like that are behind a counter at the bar, considering that they're more focused on the bars, like on the patrons that are there and making their drinks that go out to the tables. The waiters, looking at them, they could probably hide like a shiv or something to that effect underneath their clothing, but beyond that, probably not.
In standard movement of like, oh, pit boss goes here, pit boss goes there. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Got it.
So.
Harold would have asked Wilhelm to have potentially prepared the enhance ability spell once he knew that you could cast spells and it not be against the rules.
Yeah, no one asked for weapons, which is interesting.
Doesn't surprise me.
Means everybody there is carrying.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's the nuclear deterrent. If everybody's got the bomb, no one wants to use the bomb.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably about 1 in 5 patrons has something on them. That's
yeah, I would say
weaponized.
that in particular, Wilhelm is very much in his character at the moment, and he's just aggressively apologizing for the weight, and just kind of annoyingly tapping his fingers on the counter.
Okay.
McCandless wouldn't have been done with any of the weapons yet, right?
I mean, he would have been done with the bound because
It's been 5 days.
Yeah, he could probably the only one that probably wouldn't be finished would probably be the Dragonbane.
Okay.
But
So
that's because he has to make that rune before he can just socket it, which takes
Right.
longer because it's larger. So, yeah.
So I have one visible revolver.
Yes.
Fun.
If that's the way you want to handle that, yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Eventually, it takes a long time. It takes about roughly 5 minutes for the kobold to return before he comes back through that door, and he sits up and he steps up a stool this time. He steps up instead of sitting down on the chair and goes, Keelung would very much be interested in playing with Miss Bennett and Mr. Johnson. If they're willing to play 3 Dragon Ante.
I'll turn to
That
Harold.
can be arranged.
He'll just tip his hat and nod.
Know what that is.
Please show us.
Very well. And he pulls out a couple of different chips, sets them on the counter for the both of you to take. They are red with black lettering on the top before there's this massive gold figure of a dragon pouring out those gold coins from its breath, again, on the center of it in illusory fashion. Don't be losing these.
Excuse me. Yeah. I would take the 2 of them and hand them to the 2.
Okay. As you head your way back into that space, you go around the dice and slot space, go into these explicitly just slots before you go over to this bar. Veda, you notice Copper sitting at the bar. What's Copper gonna try and drink tonight? Muted.
Oh, you're muted.
He'll look around and kind of see like what other people's drinks look like. Never ordered a drink at a bar before. And he'll take a look over the menu and try and find something it doesn't sound too over the top.
I would like 1 mint mojito,
Maybe
please.
even.
Thank you.
That'll be 38 gold notes.
He literally spits in a drink because he has to make these now all night for everyone.
Roll a D100 for me, please.
Like ordering
Okay.
fajitas at a Mexican restaurant.
You and you. 64.
64, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So looking across the menu, it is full of a variety of different names, like snake venom, red ribbon runs red, and harpy scream, and it's just a variety of different cocktails on one page. And as you're kind of going down through it, you see one that looks like it probably won't be anything crazy, called the Mind's Eye. And you look across, and you can see a couple. There's a couple that are currently sitting down at the end of the bar, kind of like fawning over each other a bit drunkenly. That have like this purplish blue liquid that kind of sparkles and swirls at the bottom of their glass. They've drunk the majority of it. Make a deception check for me, please.
Okay. 8.
Sure, you old enough, kid. And he passes you across the drink and charges you double for it.
Listen, this runs on Canada rules, so he can
Yeah.
take a 16, thank you.
There's only one country dumb enough to have a 21 as their drinking age. It's this one.
What's double?
Double would be 40 silver notes.
Okay. Copper's like, okay. And he'll pass him the money.
Okay. You're just gonna sip on it, you're gonna drink it. Just like chug it.
I think he'll take a sip. I don't know. Has Copper ever had alcohol? Ever? No. Okay, so
Oh, no! Oh, this is gonna be great.
So he'll take a sip, maybe a little.
Okay. As you have
Whatever,
a
God.
small...
I didn't mean to just swear.
It's okay. I understand. So as you kind of like take it and kind of spin it in the glass for a second, staring at it is almost hypnotizing. You have to blink for a couple seconds, take a quick sip, and the flavor is distinctly something magical. But you can't quite put your finger on what it might possibly could be. And as you take another drink, the flavor changes and almost dances across your tongue as you can feel your mind begin to kind of open up, revealing something that was once lost to you, which we can talk about off stream.
Where can I find this bar?
You already feel wiser, smarter, as your vision begins to swirl ever so slightly.
I'll have what he's having.
A few drinks.
Okay.
Yeah, forget the gin. Jesus.
Copper literally just got roofied.
As the four of you make your way back to the High Roller's room, the table is set. There's a single table available at the moment where a red dragonborn is currently his frills kind of up and polished to a golden point. The white very, very prominent against his polished scales. Is currently flipping through a set of cards for a moment, kind of handling this set of cards. Let's see.
Just got the greatest idea. Cast Zone of Truth at a poker game.
Oh no.
You know when everyone's lying to you.
So as you are walking up to this table, it's the kobold that led you all here kind of motions to that table in particular and says, "He'll be with you in just a moment. Enjoy. Can I get you a drink?"
Yes, champagne for Miss Bennett, gin neat for Mr. Johnson.
Of course. And he snaps a couple times and a couple of kobolds come
shelf, up. If you would.
And they very quickly converse in
I want to see ladders in here.
And they all shuffle off.
Do it now.
As you all sit down at the table, as the two of you sit down at the table, the dealer kind of stops shuffling through the cards for a moment and gives a wide, toothy grin, kind of one fang a little bit longer. Looks like the other one's kind of broken off, as he just says, "Welcome to the table. Miss Bennett and Mr. Johnson, yes."
That will do.
How have your evenings been? Have we had a good night so far? Have we made much out there on the floor?
Just arriving, actually.
Are like voice and articulation classes part of like kobold dealer training?
He's not a kobold. He's a dragonborn. And Adelaide, you're muted.
No, I'm not close enough to my microphone apparently. Even though I can pick up my boyfriend in the other room, but not me sitting right here. It's fine.
Interesting.
Let me move my solution over. There we go.
Just tell Robert to shut up.
That's wonderful. Are you guys familiar with Three Dragon Ante?
The player would be, or the character would be, not the player.
You want to roll? Okay, fine.
Beta is trying her best not to lie at any point during this because she is not a good liar. So just being very vague.
I believe a refresher course would be helpful. We have had a long night.
Well,
actually play.
Three Dragon Ante's a complicated ass fucking game, so
Lord,
it better be the dice roll
Adelaide
version.
is dumb as fuck.
It
Okay,
better be the dice roll version.
It will be. It will be. It'll be. I'll have us roll dice, and we won't actually play through a set of. It'll be kind of a background rolling.
It would take us the whole session to teach us how to play actual Three Dragon Ante.
It would. He tells you that it's a bit like it's a set made of a set of 80 cards. 70 of them are standard dragon cards, divided into 10 sets of 70 cards, each representing one type of chromatic or metallic dragon. The remaining 10 depict other types of creatures, which include stronger dragon cards, draconic deities such as Bahamut and Tiamat, and non-draconic creatures, collectively called mortals in the game. And there's all sorts of other things that go on there. Each round is called a gambit. And the first phase of the gambit is a round of betting or an ante when the players place bets determined by random cards that are drawn on the stakes at the center of the table, and then you proceed to the second phase where the players then take turns in placing cards in front of them to form flights.
It's a complicated ass game.
It's
it really is.
Game, yeah.
It's a very complicated game.
That there are actual rules to.
Forget all the things we told you on the Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It's all pointless.
As he's finishing this up, the door opens. And he notices, the Dragonborn notices and kind of very quickly gathers up the cards and begins kind of shuffling through them. Is that going to be all for you all? I believe we know the rules now, yes?
Yes.
Fantastic. Presenting Keelong, the Fulgent Timber. And this figure that steps through the door is about 5'8". His hair is slicked back, but to a point at the back. As you can see, his ears have a multitude of gold rings going around each one. He has a mess of golden chains around his neck. A black jacket that has red dragons going all the way around it that looks like it's made of silk over his shoulders, over the top of what looks like a nice silk black vest with bright red jewel-encrusted buttons. His face, it looks like he's closer shaven than probably the majority of people that you would see. It looks like he never even grew hair on his face at any time, and his eyes are ever perceiving in this dim light. As you can see, a dull red glow through the irises over the top of a small, sharp nose. As he steps towards the table, Mrs. Bennett, it's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
He holds out a hand.
She'll take it. Yep.
He takes it and very lightly kisses the top of it. Mr. Johnson, pleasure.
How do you do, sir?
He offers his hand.
Shake it.
He takes it.
He gently kisses
Predator
the top
handshake.
of your hand.
No kisses for Mr. Johnson.
No kissing for Johnson.
He just says,
Kiss my Johnson.
well,
does not say that to Keelong.
I appreciate the fact that you all would like to play with me tonight. I, unfortunately, do not have any compatriots that are willing to play tonight. So it's nice to have fresh blood at the table.
So there's no one else at the table.
Not at this one.
Wow. Okay. Great.
That was not the plan.
Well, my plan was not necessarily to ask to play with the guy. Wilhelm just went with it. I was like, okay.
Dealer, and he looks over and just kind of looks almost exasperated. Quan, would you please deal us out the first hand, the first gambit, if you don't mind? And you there, and he snaps a couple times. Bring me my usual. Now, as he sits down at the table, he pushes off the jacket, and it disappears in flame. I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session. We're going to end a little early because that feels nice.
What
that feels nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good ending point for sure. Oh,
What
Lord.
a pompous
Yeah,
prick.
he's a dick. He's a dick.
I don't know, man. Take the
Are
jacket
you
off.
sure with that
Flaming
flaming
up.
jacket thing? I thought Veda was gonna fucking fall for him.
You think that I would go for a Naruto shirt, boy? Wow, okay. Yeah, you know the ones. We grew up in the 90s. Y'all remember the little long shirts with the flames on it? Wilhelm probably had
Oh
one.
yeah. Same vibes. Same vibes. Same vibes.
Excuse me?
You didn't have a JD? You didn't have a little flame shirt?
Indignant.
No. No. The only shirts I
Absolute
owned
indignity.
the only shirts I owned had wolves and moons on them, all right?
And he had cut the sleeves off of them with scissors instead of just buying a tank top.
Oh man, fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for Sinner's Dream thus far. Tonight's been fun. Lots of shopping, lots of planning, lots of things put in place for next week. Be sure to check out our friends at Foundry, where some of our digital roles were done tonight. Best VTT out there, hands down. I can't wait until we get to the actual boat stuff, so that way I can show off the power of Foundry.
Chuck likes boat stuff.
God, I love the tools that I have at my hands in Foundry whenever it comes to battle maps, and lighting, and so on and so forth. But, you know, if you want to run games through Foundry, you, of course, could use forge-vtt.com, one of the nicer, if not the nicest place to host your Foundry games, specifically because there's no latency across the 200 nodes across the world. You know, the Midnight Syndicate, I didn't really use any of them tonight, but they're fantastic. Go check them out. Michael Gelfi, Tabletop Audio. Hey, JD. Hey, JD. Hey, JD. You want me to give you an ASMR session?
Yeah, keep it going.
All right, I think I can do this pretty well. Just give me a second. We'll just...
Oh no, stop. She's
We can stop
here.
now.
No, please, no.
I'm good. I'm
Is Chuck
good on
actually
that.
doing anything? I muted him a long time ago.
Disgusting.
Be sure to get your elf eggs in.
Sometime
now.
around the break.
Right, in the same. I mute myself because I don't want to hear myself talk. Anyway, somebody roll D20 for me. See where we're gonna go.
I'll do it. I want to do it. I haven't done it in a while.
Anybody that I didn't talk about, Dice Envy. We're giving away those plane shift dice. Go check them out. If you're too impatient to get these dice that are beautiful and you want to just go buy them yourself right here, right now, maybe win a second set later. Go use the code NEG2, right? For 10% off at checkout.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be a 14, Chuck.
JD, we're going deep. Let's go to 14. Anybody got anything they want to talk about before we get to next week?
Go check out mine and JD's podcast, Call of Cthulhu.
Hideous End.
Hideous End. Yeah, thank you.
It's super good, and it'll make your spine tingle.
Yes,
I've never listened to it.
And there's a funny Canadian voice like this.
Yeah, Eli knows what he's talking about. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
like
the second
that
time
sounds
you
like
made my
us.
back pop. That's the second time you made my back pop and a laugh.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Stop breaking Chuck's back.
I know, right?
Usually we just make him cry.
I'm just glad he clarified.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, in what way did we make his back pop? Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh.
Blowing
Will
his
be
back
raining.
out. That's what I
I was
confirmed.
being
Adelaide
smarmy
blew
on
Chuck's
purpose.
back out.
I was being smarmy on purpose. What do you want?
Hey, you
we're-
said it.
We're gonna go raid. Is Chuck still talking?
He's giving you a break to
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna go raid Nat 1 D&D.
solid.
So let's
Hey,
be
Very
proud.
similar energy. We dig that.
Be
Yep.
proud, absolutely. These guys radiating that neg 2. So let's go support them, make some new friends out there, and we will see all of you maybe Thursday,
Thursday?
maybe Sunday. Should be a good one. Maybe Friday at Hideous
Maybe
End,
Friday,
although
you're
I'm
just
not
listening.
going to watch you through the podcast. That's weird.
Yeah.
Talked about that already.
Crazy things you can do on the internet these days.
And definitely next Monday. Later, nerds.
Sayonara.
Bye, Felicia.